Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be starting a new podcast on here where I just kind of ramble about music with different friends and different people. In today's first episode, I have my brother Steven here with me today. Steve, say hi.
Hero.
And recently, he went and binged all of Demon Hunter's music. And Demon Hunter is one of my lifelong favorite bands. So I thought it might be kind of cool to kind of pick his brain from the perspective of someone who's been a fan of Demon Hunter for 10 years, when he is, one, not that big on metal, but yeah, it's also just since he's so new to it. So before we dive in, we'll kind of do like a just kind of album by album. Steven, what do you kind of... do you have any like overarching opinions or thoughts before we dive in album by album?
Well, first of all, I guess you should get an idea that, I mean, as you said yourself, I don't listen to a lot of metal. I'm pretty picky about it because, and it's not that I don't like the instrumentation of metal. I just don't like songs when they scream throughout the entire song. Like, I feel like screaming should be something that like it's okay to do every once in a while. But it's personally, I find it a little annoying.
You mean just to like use it when it is capitalizing on a big moment?
Sure, yeah. I feel like that's fine. And there are even some songs that Demon Hunter did where like they maybe did screaming on all of the verse, but then they would like sing in the chorus, and I feel like that's fine.
Yeah, that's the pretty metalcore route.
Right.
Like that's pretty typical of metalcore bands. So yeah, we'll go ahead and jump in album by album, kind of see what your overall opinions are of the album as a whole, thematically, lyrically, see if you have any songs that really stood out to you. So let's go ahead and start with the 2002 debut self-titled record, Demon Hunter. How'd you take that one?
I really didn't care for this album at all, honestly. There were a handful of songs that I kind of liked. The last song I thought might have been my favorite, just because it was just very unique sounding. I didn't care for the album as a whole, though.
Yeah, the Gauntlet's a cool one. The other like kind of chill one is "My Throat Is an Open Grave," which is actually
was one of the songs I had liked on there. I think that's an okay song. Yeah, that's good.
It's definitely I don't know. It's kind of their heaviest album in a sense because they still weren't sure how to make Demon Hunter unique because it was kind of coming out of Ryan and Dawn's like project called Training for Utopia that was before Demon Hunter, which was very inspired by like the other bands of that era, like Living Sacrifice and Zao, the really like chaotic sounding metalcore. So did you not like any of the heavy stuff? What did you think about the album, like just thematically? Because it does have a very different sound than all of their other albums.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have much of an opinion on this album. I just don't like it that much. I mean, it is definitely different sounding. There are other albums like you can kind of compare and see similarities to, and I don't see that as much with this first album.
Yeah,
I just don't like it as much. It's probably my least favorite Demon Hunter album. So
yeah, so I kind of see there's like defining moments in Demon Hunter's catalog. There's like the first record kind of stands by itself. And then Summer of Darkness to Storm the Gates of Hell, those records all kind of sound alike. And then The World is a Thorn, up until now, they all kind of sound alike. So there's like three defining, different sounding moments in Demon Hunter's catalog. But let's go ahead and move into their second album. Summer of Darkness came out in 2004. Any like just off the bat thoughts or anything about this album?
I think overall I like it more than their first album, but even then, listening to it, I didn't like it as much as some of their later music. I did think it was really interesting that one of the songs, what was it, Coffin Builder, had the singer of Thousand Foot Crutch do vocals on that. I thought that was a cool surprise listening to it because I had no idea going into it that he ever did vocals on a Demon Hunter song, so that was a really cool surprise. As a whole, yeah, still not a huge fan of it. It was a longer album too, right? Or there were more songs on it?
Yeah, it was 13 songs.
Right, okay, yeah. I mean, I will say that it is overall better, but I still wouldn't say that I love it or anything.
Well, are there any songs on this album that you think you would listen to again or that you actually do like?
I think the song I Play Dead is kind of cool. That might be my favorite song on the album, if I remember.
So I'll be honest, Summer of Darkness is like my least favorite Demon Hunter record because I think the riffs are too similar to the riffs on the first album, except they're trying to be more groove metal, and it doesn't feel natural yet. And then also, I just don't like the choruses as much in general. Like, I think the choruses on the first record are just awesome. Like songs like Infected, like they're crazy heavy, and then the chorus is like really laid back and awesome sounding and catchy and pretty. And then Summer of Darkness just doesn't do that for me. But so album number 3, 2005, is The Triptych. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that one?
I definitely like it more than their first 2 albums, like by a long shot. I really like Deteriorate. That song's really cool.
Yeah, that song's awesome.
And The Tide Began to Rise, I just think is like, honestly, one of my favorite Demon Hunter songs, if I'm being honest. Like, that song's really cool to listen to, like the vocals of it, and
I love
like especially at the very end of the song.
Yeah, I love at the end of the song where there's like 3 or 4 different vocal lines that are all overlapping.
That's really cool.
Oh,
I really like it when people in bands do stuff like that. I just think that's really cool. The overall, more to my liking. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but my favorite at that point. So,
did you like any of the heavier songs on that album?
I mean, yeah, there were a few other songs that I had liked on that album. I can't really remember any off the top of my head. I have the Soldier song liked, Rib Cage, Fire to My Soul.
Oh, yeah, for a long time that was my favorite Demon Hunter song.
Fire to My Soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, this album overall I really like, because I think at this point they've kind of figured out how to do what they were trying to do with Summer of Darkness, in my opinion. Like, the riffs on this album are just really cool. The choruses are way more interesting. The harmonies are really cool. Like you said, with songs like Tide Began to Rise, like that's just such a incredible, powerful song. But yeah, let's go ahead and move into 2007's Storm the Gates of Hell. This is kind of tied for my favorite Demon Hunter album. It's my favorite lyrically, but not my favorite instrumentally. Yeah, what are your thoughts on this one?
I don't exactly have a list of my favorite to least favorite songs, but I think it would be around the same area as their third album. I really liked the songs Fading Away and Incision. Those songs really stood out to me. I would say overall I like that album about as much as I do their third album.
Also, Carry Me Down on Storm the Gates of Hell.
Yeah, that was one of the songs I had liked on there.
That's the song that needs to play at my funeral. It's so good. But then, yeah, the title track is just a freaking awesome thrash song, and I have the Hell Hath No Fury at All tattooed on my arm. Like,
yeah, see, that song's a little much for me. So,
are there any of the heavier songs on that album that you like? Like, I know that Storm the Gates of Hell is like a crazy thrash metal song, but like, are there any like heavier songs on that album you like 16 or Thread of Light?
I have 16 liked, yeah.
Yeah, 16's cool. I like the like orchestra intro. Bruce from Living Sacrifice does guest vocals, and then the
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and move on. I assume you didn't listen to the live albums.
No.
I will say I don't really go out of my way to listen to the Live in Nashville, but I do have the DVD from that concert, and they are one of the few bands that can sound as good live as they do on the record. Like, not many bands can do that. So that's cool. So 2010 is The World is a Thorn. How are you feeling about that one?
At this point, this is their 5th album, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, this is my favorite of their albums. The song Collapsing especially is like probably my favorite song by them. I wouldn't say as a whole this is my favorite album by them, but it definitely has some slappers. I also like Driving Nails, and I like the last couple songs on the album a lot too.
So I'll ask the question again. Are any of the heavier songs standing out to you? Because like, I showed you Collapsing a long time ago. Is that the song that kind of made you want to check out the rest of their discography?
Probably, because I really like Collapsing. I know that you've played it before, and I was like, I mean, this song's cool. You know, let's see what else they got. So yeah, this was kind of the song that kind of made me want to check them out more.
So are there any of the heavier songs that you like?
I kind of like Tie This Around Your Neck.
That song's so cool. For a little bit, that was like my favorite song on this album. Yeah, it's a good one. That's also another kind of shift. I feel like they were starting to pull more like of the melodic death metal influence on from that album up until now. Like they started sounding more like the Northern European metal bands, and I think they pulled that off really well. But next we got True Defiance. How do you feel about that one? This is actually my favorite Demon Hunter album instrumentally. So I said Storm the Gates of Hell was my favorite lyrically. This is my favorite album instrumentally. How do you feel about this one?
Overall, I really like I really like this album. I think it is very interesting that like their most popular song, at least according to Spotify, is "I Am a Stone," right? Because like it's a really cool song. Like don't get me wrong, I like it, but it's just comparing it to like their other music that is just metal.
Yeah, it's like how did that? It's a B-side. It's a deluxe
it's
edition
also
song.
like it's also one of the deluxe songs. It's like it's just a little weird thinking that is like their most streamed song on Spotify. I think that's interesting though. I mean,
yeah, and I think they.
It also
think it's cool.
shows their variety a little bit more, I guess. The fact that they can also write like slower songs like this. I like Dead Flowers too. That song's really cool. Let's see what else. I have a good amount on this album liked actually. I think at this point this album has the most amount of songs I've liked on it. But it is also the deluxe edition. But anyway,
are there any of the heavier songs that you were really digging?
Godforsaken's kind of cool.
I think Godforsaken is one of the coolest Demon Hunter songs ever because that chorus is really cool. The riff is really cool. The like bluesy guitar solo is just a nice addition to a normally really heavy song. Like Godforsaken is just, in my opinion, one of the best Demon Hunter songs. It's so good. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to 2014's Extremist. Did you listen to the deluxe edition or the normal version?
The deluxe, is there a difference?
Yeah, there is. The deluxe edition has Waste Me and Helpless Hope, and then
Is that
then a couple of remixes.
Oh, well, I mean, I figured the deluxe would just have more songs. You made it sound like that something else was different besides them just having more songs on there.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's what the deluxe edition means. Anyways, so
listen to the deluxe edition because I saw that there were two other songs on there, so I listened.
Okay, so what are some of your top picks on that one, and what did you think of it overall?
Overall, this is probably either my second or third favorite Demon Hunter album. I think it's really cool. The last one, Alive, is a really cool song.
That song used to get played on Octane a lot.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I also like Gasoline, and I Will Fail You is pretty cool.
Yeah, so you tend to just lean towards the less brutal songs.
Well, yeah, because I don't like that.
The first time I saw Demon Hunter live, they opened for Red, and when they played Gasoline, this was the newest record at the time, they played Gasoline, and there was like the biggest mosh pit I've ever seen in that venue. It was so awesome. So did you not like any of the heavier songs on this record?
Well, I actually have most of the songs. Well, I don't know about most, but a lot of the songs liked on this album. I have What I'm Not and Hell Don't Need Me liked.
I haven't listened to Hell Don't Need Me in a long time. What I'm Not's cool though. I like the synth line,
Metal with synth is honestly pretty cool though.
Which is funny because you think that Attack is
don't mention Attack.
Exactly.
It's mainly just because they're just bad.
So I think Extremist is overall a really solid album. Like at the time, I was listening to it like nonstop when it first came out. But I saw like a review of it, and they said that it was just like if Demon Hunter was trying to sound like Stained, and I can't unhear it. So like, I still like a lot of those songs, but like I don't know, that stupid review kind of tainted my opinion overall of the album. But let's go ahead and move into 2017's Outlive. I didn't think about this when you said you were going to listen to all of their music. By the way, I don't know if I said this at the beginning. This was his idea to do this. I didn't say, go listen to all of Demon Hunter's music.
I went out of my way to listen to Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
And just, again, because I really like Collapsing, and I was like, well, I should see if there's any other songs that I like by them.
Yeah, but what I didn't think about when you told me that you were going to do that is that there is a deluxe edition of this album, but it's not on Spotify.
There's a deluxe edition of Outlive.
Yeah, there's two other songs. I do have the the CD for it. So like, if you want to hear them at some point, the last song specifically, it sounds like an Alice in Chains song in drop B. It's so awesome. Like, you'll have to check it out.
Okay.
But with what you have to work with, what are some of your top picks? This album's very different sounding too. So what do you think about some of those other things that they tried?
Yeah, I would say overall, I said that Extremist is my second or third favorite. And I will also say the same thing with Outlive. It's probably my second or third favorite overall. I honestly really like how it sounds. I think it's different than what they did, but personally, like, in a good thing. I just think as a whole, there's not as much like super heavy songs on this album, and maybe that's why I like it more.
Yeah, to me, there was like a definite switch from this point on in Demon Hunter. Like, before, I've liked that they were so diverse. Like, one of my favorite things about Demon Hunter is that they are so diverse. They can have really melodic songs like The Tide Began to Rise and I Am a Stone, and they have those in-between songs like Collapsing, and then they'll have crazy heavy songs like Cross to Bear and Storm the Gates of Hell. But like, from Outlive up until now, I feel like their heavy songs just aren't quite up there for me. Like, I think Jesus Wept is kind of cool. It's kind of cheesy, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't care for that song, honestly.
But I honestly don't really like the heavy songs on this album as much. Like, I think my favorite song on this album by kind of a lot is Die to My Sleep. I think is my favorite song.
Yeah, that song was really cool. I liked it.
Yeah, but overall, I just don't really like the heavy stuff on this album, which is kind of upsetting. But what are a couple of your favorite songs from that album?
I'm with you there on Died in My Sleep. That one's really cool. I liked Cold Winter Sun. I like The End.
I think it's interesting that you do like Cold Winter Sun, because that's like kind of a...
It is,
like, it's not, it's not like heavy.
It is on the heavier side, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's heavier than I Am a Stone.
Just a little bit. I have most of this album liked. That's kind of why I consider it so high up there, just because I have most of it liked. And I don't know. I just like how it sounds. I like what they do with it and how it's different than...
There's a lot more synth on this album.
Sure. I mean, yeah. And I like synth. I like synth with metal. I just think it sounds cool. That's one reason why I like Starset so much, just because, well, not that they're really metal, but, I mean...
Raining Down is also one I really like. I think that's a really good song, because it's kind of like upbeat and happy, and I like the vocal harmony in the chorus. I think it's just a really cool song.
I like that song too.
All right, so now we're going to their kind of double album that they did in 2019, War and Peace. We'll go ahead and start with War. So what is your overall opinion of this album?
I only have about half of War liked, and that's obviously because it's
a little heavier.
Heavy, yeah. It's very heavy overall.
So what are a couple of your favorite songs
on this album?
Yeah,
I have On My Side. That might be my favorite song on the album. I also have Close Enough, Gray Matter, The Negative. I don't know why that song gets stuck in my head a lot.
The chorus is like really simple and it's catchy.
Right. I think that's why I get stuck in my head so easily. And I'm just like, well, maybe I do like this song. So because it is kind of on the heavier side, but
it's more of like a punk rock song than it is a metal song. Like, it's just got like that attitude and the beat to it, so it's not like heavy like
whatever.
But
so I also have Leave Me Alone liked. Leave Me Alone. I would say overall, because I really only have like half of the album liked, it's closer to my least favorite album overall. I do like the songs that I have liked on here. I just, as a whole, since I only have half of it liked, I would consider it lower because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, like I said with Outlive, even the heavier songs, I don't really care for as much on this album. Like, I think Lesser Gods is pretty cool, just because it's kind of black metal-y. It's just different for them. No Place for You Here. I think the riff on that song is just so epic.
There was one, it might have been that song that you mentioned. There was one song I remember listening to on the album that like the riff was really cool, but like all of like the screaming on the album just
was it this one?
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
That's No Place for You Here. The guitar work on that song is so awesome.
I honestly do really like that riff, but it's just a little, it's like the vocals are just a little much for me. So like,
Yeah. I do really like that song. And then on the deluxe edition, there's a song called Gunfight.
the deluxe edition of 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know this.
You're man, if you should have come to me, man. I got all these deluxe editions right here on that shelf.
That means I have to listen to them again.
That means I have to find a CD player.
What the heck am I going to get one of those?
And then there's also a deluxe edition of Peace. War and Peace, it's only one song each on the deluxe edition. I don't know. I don't think you're missing too much.
Oh, do you not care for those 2 songs?
They're fine. They're solid songs. It's just like, CDs are not as convenient as Spotify. So it's like, if I'm going to take the time to pull out a CD because something's not on Spotify, it better be bringing the 10 out of 10. And I don't think those songs do. But I do think the deluxe edition of Outlive does that. So,
okay.
But let's go ahead and move into Peace. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah,
Probably a little more up your alley.
yeah, definitely for sure. This one's probably overall my favorite album by them. I really like More Than Bones. I really like that song. That's one of my favorites by them. I also really like Peace. Recuse Myself was really cool. I I just really like the whole album, honestly. I think When the Devil Comes, When the Devil Comes is a really unique sounding song. I think that's kind of cool sounding. It's not my favorite by any means, but it is cool. I like it. It's fun.
Yeah, I really like Recuse Myself. I think I heard in their podcast that they have that it's the only Demon Hunters, or like the only like Demon Hunter song that's not like a ballad necessarily, that doesn't have any guitar, which I think is interesting because metal, it's like guitar's like the main instrument. So it's interesting. What was that other one you just mentioned? When the Devil Come? I actually don't really care for that song. Like, I remember the first couple times I heard it, I was like, okay, that's cool. That's interesting. That's different. But now I'm just like, I don't know. Sometimes I skip it.
I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting song.
So do you have like a favorite song on this album?
More Than Bones and Peace are my 2 favorites on the album. But like I said, I like the whole album as a whole. Time Only Takes is kind of cool.
Yeah, Time Only Takes has probably my favorite riff on this album. Like my favorite guitar part on this album.
Like your favorite Demon Hunter riff ever?
Oh, sorry, from this album.
Okay.
The Time Only Takes main riff, the is my favorite riff on this album.
Okay.
Not of all time. Okay. And then lastly, did you listen to Songs of Death and Resurrection?
Yeah, I actually did. Because after listening to so much Demon Hunter and a lot of metal, I was like, I need to like listen to something that's like just more relaxing sounding. So
it's a whole lot.
It's an acoustic album, so I was like, okay, I'll listen to it, sure. And I thought it was interesting. I will say I probably prefer the original versions of most of those songs over the acoustics, but I still thought it was an interesting album. It's kind of all I have to say about it.
Yeah. I think, most of those songs I do prefer the original, but some of these versions are different enough that, I don't know, that like they stand well on their own. Like, I really like this version of I Am a Stone because it's like a full band instead of just orchestra and Ryan singing. And then Praise the Void is actually a brand new song. It has
right. Yeah, I noticed that.
What do you think of that song? Well, actually, what do you think?
I don't remember that song that well. I'm gonna need to listen to that song again. I don't remember it that well.
Yeah. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you
do it.
Yeah, do it, please.
Do it.
Please do, because I think, I don't know if it's my next video, but maybe the video after that, I'm doing a video where I predict what Praise the Void is going to sound like with the full band. So that is going to be...
you need me.
Yeah. But also Steven's going to be in a few of my other videos. We filmed a few videos a while back that I just haven't gotten around to editing.
Freaking nerd.
I'm sorry. So we'll get around to doing that editing.
Can't edit a
pretty soon.
4-minute video.
It's so hard, man. I just have so many other videos I try to make. I like have like 5 videos I'm making all at once, and then I'm like, oh wait, hold up, I can't edit 5 videos at the same time. So yeah, let's just kind of do a little bit of a general. What are you glad that you went and listened to the rest of Demon Hunter's music? Do you feel like you got some good music out of it? Do you feel like that maybe your older brother has some good taste after all?
No, a lot of what you listen to is bad. But Demon Hunter is well, after I listened to all of them and I looked at all the songs I hit like on, and I realized that they were like probably about 70 songs that I had liked, which is one of the most by any band. And it's not, it's mainly just because they have so much music. I mean, like, what, 10 albums?
Yeah, they
That's
have
a lot
10
of
albums.
music.
Yeah.
Which is
They've been a band a long time.
Yeah, I mean, that's more than any band I've listened to.
They're talking about doing a 20th anniversary edition of their first album, and that's going to come out. That's next year. So they've been a band a long time.
Okay. Well, so I guess there's. Let me see. Well, I guess Papa Roach has 9 albums too, or 10 albums.
They've been a band longer than Demon Hunter.
Oh, yeah, they've been banned a little bit longer. But, like, I mean, Demon Hunter would, like, they put 2 albums
out in
once.
1 year.
I mean, literally on the same day, right?
Right.
And they also, like, didn't they one time go only, like, 1 year in between an album?
Triptych came out only a year after Summer of Darkness.
That's kind of crazy, especially with metal music. I think that's kind of crazy. But when it comes to the overall, how many songs I have liked, it's a lot. Mainly just because they have just so much music. I think overall I'm glad I listened to them because there were quite a few more songs I was like, that I discovered that I'd never heard before that I really liked. And there were other songs that I had heard before, but I didn't really remember like what it was called or anything. Because, you know, I mean, you listen to them all the time, right? And I would be like, oh, what about this song? But then I like can't remember the name of the song or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like... So it was cool to go back and to actually find these songs and be like, oh, okay.
So do you think that Peace is overall your favorite album?
Probably. Top 3 at least.
What would be your favorite album if it's not Peace? Because I feel like for you, that was the safe guess just because you're not like super into the screamy stuff.
Either...
I mean, you like I Prevail. They scream a lot.
That's true.
But
well, I only like Trauma though. Like I don't care for any of their music before that. Okay. I mean, well, not really. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I just don't like it.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's that interesting.
Right. So what? Yeah, what would be your favorite Demon Hunter album if it's not Peace?
I would probably say either Extremist or Outlive. Those third are my 3 favorites. So
what would be your top 3 Demon Hunter songs?
Songs. Let's see. Definitely Collapsing, because of course Collapsing is the one that made me listen to all of them, and I still think that is one of their best songs.
That guitar solo is just one of the best things ever.
Just the whole song. The whole song is just really cool. I really like The Tide Began to Rise. Like I know it's not like a metal song at all, but I just think it's a really cool sounding song.
I have and you can find a link to this in the description of this video, but I have a top 10 of the week playlist on Spotify, and that song is almost always in there. Like I just listen to it so much.
It's just a really interesting sounding song, and I really like it. Gets stuck in my head easily, and just feel like wanting to sing it a lot. Like I just think it's really cool. I also like I didn't mention this earlier, but I do kind of like what's his name? Ryan Clark? Is that his name?
Yeah, the singer.
I really like his voice because it's like super dynamic and like he can go like really low because like he's a bass, right? So like
I think he's a baritone. He can hit some high
notes
really
low, but he can also sing some high notes too. And I think that's really interesting, and because he sounds good both ways.
Yeah.
Because like sure you can sing low and you can sing high, but
should you?
Yeah, I mean, but he can, and I think that's really cool.
I think that's another reason why I think Godforsaken is such a good song is because it shows his range. Like the chorus is kind of low, but then the pre-chorus is high, and then he does the screamy stuff. Like that song is a good example of just how diverse he is vocally.
Yeah.
But what would be your like third favorite?
Yeah, I'd probably have to choose More Than Bones, maybe, because I would say it's my favorite song from my favorite album. So I guess so.
So it should probably be in the top 3.
I mean, yeah. More Than Bones, Collapsing, and The Tide Began to Rise.
All right.
That's probably.
All right, cool. So they're already probably messing around with some new music since we have Praise the Void, and that's a future song. So are you gonna check that album out when it comes out? Next year, 2 years from now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll listen to it. Sure.
Are you gonna go listen to those deluxe editions I have on CDs?
I mean, I should maybe.
Yeah. I mean, there's only like if you only listen to those extra songs.
You said it's only gonna be like 4 songs.
Yeah,
right?
it's only 4 songs if you just listen to those ones you didn't get to hear before. Steven, thanks for being bold and getting out of your comfort zone. That's always good for people to do, especially since you've started playing music in the last year. And I think as a musician, it's healthy for people to listen to more than what they normally listen to.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thanks again for listening to this. I will be doing a music-related podcast just off and on with various people. So if there's topics you want to hear about, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, all that YouTube algorithm nonsense.
Share it with your friends.
Share it with your friends.
Tell your friends to show to their friends.
Yeah. That's it.
Just do it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later. Adios.